In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to use the function if. And we have two episodes in talking about if, and three more episodes talking about the associated functions corresponding to if function. So if you need that, just find the links below, the video below, then you will find more information about how to use the if function perfectly. So let's start right here. Let's see the instruction right here. So the first instruction is if the highest temperature is higher than or equal to 30, show hot, otherwise show warm. So it is very obvious, right? Here is the highest temperature. So we want to find out that if this temperature, all right, so say if Monday 15.2 is greater than or equal to 30, then we show hot right here. If not, then we show warm right here. All right, so let's do it by using the if function. So we type if, and then we need to type three things right here. Is logical test, value if true, and value if false. So let's as before, right? We just type all the stuff first, and I will explain to you one by one later. All right. So here, the logical test section, we type B2 greater than or equal to 30. So this symbol meaning greater than, and this symbol meaning equal. So if you use it together, that would be greater than or equal to. It's just the same when we speak in English, right? Greater than or equal to. So conversely, if you want to find that something is smaller than or equal to, then you just reverse the symbol, right? So this will be smaller than or equal to. Now we change to greater than or equal to right here. So B2 is greater than or equal to 30. This is the logical test that what we want to inspect for. So if this is true, okay, so if the value in B2 is true, it's really greater than or equal to 30, show hot, right, the word hot. Because this is an English word, so we need the double quote right here, remember? For all the English word or string, we do need a double quote. And if this statement is false, so B2 right here is 15.2, right? Absolutely, it is not greater than or equal to 30. So it will return the value warm to you, which is the value if false. So let's press enter and see what will be the result. Warm, right? It's correct, right? It's because this is smaller than or equal to 30. I mean, it's smaller than 30 to be exactly. So if put it down, and it will show you that warm, hot, warm, hot, warm, hot, right? According to uh, the equation. So because it's just changed automatically when you drag down a column. So let's finish the second instruction also. So if the lowest temperature is lower than 5, show yes under cold warning, otherwise show no. So it's just the same, right? We use if right here. And then for the logical test, this time lower than 5, so it's C2 lower than 5. So the value true, then we need to show yes. And if it is false, then we need to show no. Right? It's quite obvious. So it is yes because its temperature is 2 degrees. Right? So draw it down, and it will show all the things automatically. So one thing is you need to bear this in mind is that in here in instruction 1 we have higher than or equal to. So if you recognize the equation right here, we have an equal sign right here, which means equal to. So you see that here for the temperature 30 is greater than or equal to, so it returns the true value, which is hot. But in the second instruction, it doesn't contain equal to, so it's just saying lower than. That means if the lower temperature is 5, it's still showing no. So if you see that its lower temperature is 5, it's still showing no because we didn't contain an equal to sign right here. So it is very important that when you're using about yes or no, or hot or warm, and also the if function, because this is a very typical error that people always mix, that they mix up with the equal to or having contain no equal to sign. This time we'll be talking about some affiliated function with the if, and this is AND function. All right, so let's see the instruction, what we need to do today. So hot, the instruction one is hot and cold warning, show extreme, otherwise show normal. So what it means is, if we see hot and yes for the cold warning right here, then we need to show the word extreme in this cell. And if we didn't show anyone, all right, so it's hot and no, so it's not and, right? Because we need to fulfill the both requirement, is hot and showing yes in the code warning. So hot and no is not fulfilling this requirement, so it will be showing normal. Similarly, warm and no will show normal because it's not fulfilling both of hot and yes for code warning. And this one also, warm and yes will show normal because didn't show hot and cold simultaneously. All right. So let's do it by using if and the function and. All right. So if here logical test, we need to fulfill both the requirement of hot and yes for cold warning. All right. So we need to use and right here. And okay. So logical one will be hot. All right. So if E1 equal to hot, all right. So sorry, if E2 equal to hot, all right. And so and F2 equal to yes, so close it. So it is just a normal logic function, okay? Normal logic function, and when you have close like right here, normal logic function. So what it means here is if E2 equal to hot and at the same time F2 equal to S, both requirements is fulfilled, then we return the value extreme. If it is not fulfilled, value is false, return the value of normal. Right? Close it, and it's normal. Right? So drag it down, you will have it. So only this case is fulfill both hot and yes for code warning. So it will only give us the only one, which will give us extreme in this case. Okay. So let's do the second example. Now this time we need to fulfill the equation is we need to have warm and no code warning. We need to show perfect, all right? So let's see what we have right here. So we need to fulfill both warm and no code warning. So it will be warm and cold together on the same row. So hot and no, it will show nothing. Warm and no, show perfect. Warm and no show perfect. Hot and yes, of course, is no. And warm and yes is also give us nothing. Okay, so let's do it here. So if logical test is we need to fulfill both uh, conditions, so we use the and right here. So and, all right, E2 is equal to warm, and on the same time F2 is equal to no. Then if these logic test is fulfilled, return the value perfect. If it is not fulfilled, if it is false, return nothing. Let's have the space bar right. Close it, enter. So it has nothing, and when you drag it down the column, warm and no simultaneously give us perfect. So this is how you use if and function together. So we will have more function about or and not for the if function in the later on episode. So make sure to keep track of that. Today we're going to talk about how we associate if with or function. Alright? So let's see what we need to do today. Okay, so the first instruction here is hot or cold warning shows extreme, otherwise show normal. So that means is if either here in this column E, it has contained hot, or either the column F contain yes for the cold warning, then we can show extreme, or otherwise we show normal. All right. So either E contain hot, or here contain yes. All right. So let's screen it out. See which one will not give us extreme. Okay. So here warm and yes, because it contains yes right here, or right, warm or yes. So this will give us extreme. Same extreme. We have a hot and yes right here, so we will also get an extreme. Warm and no, so neither one is fulfilled. Not hot, not yes, so it will be normal. Hot and no, so this has a hot, so it is fulfilled, but no right here is not fulfilled, but we are using or function right here, so either condition is fulfilled, it will show us extreme, so it will show us extreme here. Okay, so it is very simple. We type the function, we call the if function, and this time for logical test we use or. So or E2 equals hot, or F2 equal yes. Make sure it is case sensitive. Okay. So true. Okay. If it is true, we give extreme. If it is false, we give normal. Right. So the logical test right here we are associated with or. So that means either E2 equal to hot or F2 equal to yes. This will fulfill the requirement of giving the extreme word. If this and this both are not fulfilled, or both are not fulfilled, it will give us normal. So either these two are fulfilled or neither these two are fulfilled, it will still give us extreme. So it's only the case that these two conditions are both not fulfilled that will give us normal. Okay? So let's type enter and we will get extreme. So in the same case, this will be normal. Alright, so let's just do example again. So this time we do the instruction 2 is warm or no warning, show good. So either warm, the condition warm is fulfilled, or the no cold warning is fulfilled. That will give us the answer good. Okay. So if or E2 equals warm, remember to give a double quote because warm is an English word right here, so we need double quote. Okay. Or F2 equals no, right? Then it will give us good. Otherwise, give us nothing. So this time will give us a space bar, perhaps. Good, because this one is good, because warm and yes, okay, either one is fulfilled. This one is fulfilled, this one is not, but now we're using or function, so either one is fulfilled, then it will give us good. Okay, good. So this gives us nothing because neither, I mean, both the construction warm and no cold warning are not fulfilled right here because it's for hot and yes, so it will give us nothing right here. Okay. Or function is easily mixed up with and function, so make sure you have a look on the and function also if it is associated with the if function. And this time we were talking about the associated function of if is not function right here. All right, so let's see what we need to do today is we need to give a pass, the word right here, pass, if the grade is not F, and cheer up if the grade is not A. Okay, so it's very easy. So if, now this time the logical test is not, so if pass for not F, right? So C, if C3 is not F, then it will be pass. If no, if it is not so double negative, it will be false, right? So it is not pass, right? So fail, pass. Okay, so drag it down across the column, so we'll get all the stuff. All right. So remember that if it is not, if C3 is not F, so if the grade is not equal to F, that means if it fulfills this equation, the grade is really not equal to F, it will be passed. If it does not fulfill this equation, it will be failed. So it will be not for not, so double negative for the false result. So make sure the logic is very clear right here, is that we not, if this logical test is correct, we will have the true value. If this logical test is not correct, we will have the false value. Okay? So it will be a little bit confusing because we're using the double negative right here. But make sure the logic is clear when you work it up on your own. Alright? Okay, so let's do for the second one. So cheer up for not A. Okay, so let's have a look again. So if it is not A grade, so the grade is not A, C3 is not A, so cheer up. And if it's A, actually they need to have a cheer up, but it's really excellent, right? Excellent. Okay. Close it. So it will be excellent, and drag it down the column, so it will be cheer up. Alright, so here, just talking again, right? Logical test is not the grade equal to A. So if this is filled, the grade is not really equal to A. So it will be true value for cheer up and a false value for excellent. Okay? So give us a thumbs up if you like this video, or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you find it useful. And here again, thanks for watching. So in this task, we want to find the grade of the marks according to the marks right here, with reference to the chart right here. So we did it in last episode is using the lookup array, I suppose. But this time we want to use the if function to do the same thing here. So in order to have a very in order to give you a very simple idea about the net structure before we move on to very complicated equation. So let's just consider A and B grade right here first before we consider CDF in the later part. Okay, so let's get started. So type if logical test. Okay, so it's very obvious here because the marks is 90. So if the marks here in B3 is greater than or equal to 90, then we return the value of A. And if it is not, then we need to ask if this mark is greater than or equal to 80. And if yes, we return the B. Or if no, we return F. Okay? So let's try that. So if B3 is greater than or equal to 90, then we give an A. If not, then we ask the second question. So we call another if inside the if. That is what we call net structure. So if B3 this time is greater than or equal to 80, then we will give them B. Or else we'll give them F. Okay? So we should close it and we will return A to you. Okay? So What does a net structure mean is that we have two if function. I mean, we have an if function, which is originally one function, basically, in most of the Excel cases. But we do have one extra function inside the function. That is what we call the net structure. So this is a very simple example because we only involve two functions right here. Now we really consider the real case. We consider the whole chart right here. Okay, so we consider A to F right here. So probably we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 logical tests to help us to differentiate whether the people got an A, B, C, D, or E, or F grade. All right, so this is very simple. So let's have a look. It's quite simple actually, but it is quite complicated. Okay, make sure you have a very clear mind when you're doing this. All right, so logical test right here is B4. We want to ask if B4 is greater than or equal to 90. If yes, John will have A. If no, we ask the second question, is if B4 is greater than or equal to 80. All right, according to this chart, if greater than 80, he will get an B. If not, we need to ask again the logical test, the third logical test, if B4 is greater than or equal to 70. If yes, we need to give in C for him. If no, we ask the fourth question, if B4 is greater than or equal to 60. So if yes, we give in D. If no, ask the fifth question, if B4 is greater than or equal to 50. If yes, give an E. If no, now we don't need to ask the question again because obviously if we ask that this is not 80, not 90, not 70, not 60, not 50, there must be a 0. So this time F for the fourth result. So we need to have close OR. Is a very easy way to see how many closed blanket you have is that you see the color. So this is purple, green, purple, orange, black. So overall it's closed. Okay. So B. So when we drag it down, it will automatically assign to grade for it. It is quite complicated in this case, right? Because you have quite a lot of logical tests right here. So it will be much easier if you use the lookup array to do these things. But this is a way that if you only have if function in Excel and you want to use the if function to do the net structure, this is the only way that you can do to assign the grade for the people. So I hope it helps, and remember to thumb up if you find it useful, and subscribe our YouTube channel if you find it useful. And here again, thanks for watching.